This was a magical helmet. Whoever wore it could nullify all magic nearby. Everyone wanted it, and soon people began digging up graves to find it. In the process, they accidentally awakened an ancient undead who had been asleep for over a century. Legend said he was the last person to have seen the helmet. But there was a catch. They could only ask the undead 5 questions. Mark stepped forward to ask about the helmet's whereabouts. Unfortunately, the 5 questions were used up quickly, and they were no closer to an answer. Out of options, they dug up a second grave and forcefully reawakened its occupant. This time, the undead began recounting what had happened 100 years ago. Their army had been ambushed by the enemy, and the commanding officer handed the helmet to him for safekeeping. Just as he was finishing his story, he was struck down by enemy forces. Mark was still left without a clear answer and turned to leave, but Jack stopped him, reminding him that all 5 questions must be asked, or the undead would never rest in peace. Reluctantly, Mark asked 2 random questions just to fulfill the requirement, and the spirit finally found peace. They then revived the commanding officer himself, only to find that his death had been even more tragic. He had just handed the helmet to a cavalryman when an arrow pierced his skull. Following this clue, the team tracked down the cavalryman. They thought they had finally found the answer, but to their surprise, the cavalryman said he died slipping in a bath and had never even made it to the battlefield. Still determined, they kept digging and eventually found the real cavalryman. In his memories, they finally discovered the helmet's true fate. While fleeing from the enemy, he had fallen off a cliff and encountered the paladin John. He entrusted the helmet to John before he died. With this revelation, the team immediately set out to find John. They learned that the helmet had been hidden in an underground dungeon, a place filled with deadly traps from which no one had ever returned alive. John, seeing that their intentions were good, agreed to guide them. As soon as they entered the dungeon, they encountered a terrifying brain-eating monster. As a result, they did not attract the attention of the brain-eating monster. Later, they arrived at a floating bridge. The helmet was visible on the other side. Suddenly, John stopped and warned them that the bridge was heavily booby-trapped, and they had to follow the rules exactly while crossing. Jack, ignoring the warning, stepped onto the bridge. He triggered a trap, and the entire structure collapsed in an instant. Luckily, one of their teammates had a staff with long-distance teleportation powers. Jack used the staff to open a portal and teleported safely to the other side within seconds. Led by John, the team reached an ancient stone platform. John blew off the dust and skillfully activated the mechanism. At long last, the treasure hunters laid their hands on the legendary magical helmet.